Sagama, Padamare, Ni, Ni, Re, Ma, Dhapa, Ga, 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 Sagapa, Padamare, Ni, Ni, Re, Ma, Dhapa, Ga, 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 Mana, Manatil ध्यासा मधुनी, उमले फलश्रुती, सरस्वतीच्या गाभाऱ्यातील ज्योती फलश्रुती, मना मनातील ध्यासा मधुनी, उमले फलश्रुती, सरस्वतीच्या गाभाऱ्यातील ज्योती फलश्रुती.
In computer science, everyone knows there are two papers, computers paper 1 and paper 2. Okay, if you see the topics in paper 1, most of the topics based on software. Okay, so you'll be learning different softwares like C++, HTML. Then some concepts which are there, which is very important while designing the software or for designing the database also. So for that purpose, you have data structure chapter. Okay. Then one more chapter is there, that is operating system. Okay, actually the operating system is very vast, but in short, in your textbook they're trying to give the basic terms and definitions which are related to the operating system, because there are different modules in the operating system, and you should be aware of all these modules, because for designing any kind of application or software, you need to know how your operating system works. Okay, what are the different modules, manage the memory, how it manage the information. Okay, you should know that. So because of that, these terms, these concepts are also included in your syllabus in the chapter operating system. Okay, so first see the marking scheme for computer science paper. If you observe that marking scheme for computer science paper 1 and paper 2 is same. Okay, there are some small changes, like for question number 3 and 4, some type of different types of questions are there in hardware and software. Otherwise, the marking scheme for paper 1 and paper 2 is same. Now, generally for 12th standard, in some of the college, they only conduct the terminal examination and the preliminary examination. Okay, but some college, for students practice, they conduct unit test. Okay, unit test in the first term as well as the second unit test in the second term. So if the unit test is conducted by the college, then it will be for 25 marks, and generally you'll have MCQ type of questions, or they'll give you the tutorial, some home assignments. Okay, and now in this COVID-19 situation, your teacher can conduct online test also. Okay, so that is only for 25 marks. Most of the time objective type of questions, some programs can be asked in this kind of unit test. Now the terminal examination. Okay, so first terminal examination is for 50 marks. Okay, but the less timing is given, that is only 2 hours are given to complete the paper. So by considering the timing, accordingly the paper is set. Okay, see, if you see, the board paper is also for 50 marks, prelim paper is also for 50 marks, but it is for 3 hours. But in terminal examination, college will give you only 2 hours, and first and second question will be objective type, because there are 4 chapters in software, so only 2 chapters are there for first terminal examination. Okay, and because of that, they'll arrange the paper, they'll set the paper so that you'll be able to finish 50 marks paper within 2 hours. So in the terminal examination, mostly you'll have objective type of questions. Okay, only in first terminal examination. Again, your second unit test, if it is conducted by the college, it is not compulsory to conduct first unit test and second unit test. But if it is conducted, then it will be for 25 marks, and mostly you'll have MCQ type of questions or online test or home assignment. Then prelim examination. In your prelim examination is same as your final examination. Okay. In terminal examination, you have only theory paper. No practical exams will be there for the terminal exam. But in prelim exam, you'll have 50 marks theory paper and 50 marks practical exam. Okay. So generally in prelim exam, you have entire syllabus. Okay. And the teacher set the paper as per the board paper pattern. Okay, so generally whatever board paper pattern is there, accordingly you'll have your final prelim exam. Now we'll see the final board examination. In board examination, it is based on your full syllabus. It is for 50 marks. 3 hours duration is given for 50 marks paper. If you see for 50 marks, board is given 3 hours. Okay, because if you observe the computer science paper, it is you have only 4 marks objective question. Objective type questions are only for 4 marks, and subjective and programming is there for 46 marks. Okay, so it is a little bit lengthy as compared to other subjects. It is a little bit lengthy paper. Okay, so it will take 2.5 hours to complete the entire paper. 3 hours are given, but you should complete your paper within 30 minutes. Okay, so the last 30 minutes you should keep for checking your paper, whether you have completed everything or not, whether you have written the program in the proper manner, the syntax is followed, okay, whether it is error free or not. So for checking your paper should give 30 minutes, last 30 minutes. Okay. And in computer science paper also, you'll see that for marks question, you need to write minimum 6 points. For marks question, you need to answer 8 to 10 points. Okay, so generally the 1 point is considered for half marks. Diagram it takes 1 mark. Okay, so it is little bit lengthy as compared to other subjects, but you'll able to finish the paper within 2 hours 30 minutes. Okay, now in the practical examination also, whatever practicals you have completed in the entire year, okay, based on that the practical examination is conducted in your college. Okay, the board practical slips are there. We'll see the distribution of marks in the practical, but generally for performing the practical, you'll get 30 marks, and then for journal, you'll have 20 marks. Now it is up to the college whether to give the 20 marks only for the journal or for the entire year performance of that particular student. Okay, generally in some colleges, they see your attendance, lecture attendance, practical attendance, your submissions, whether you are doing submissions on time or not. So by considering all that factors, they'll give you this 20 marks for the journal. Now, as you know, there are 4 chapters in software. So you'll see that only 4 chapters, but no, it is not only 4 chapters. These all 4 concepts are very, very important. Okay. In future, if you are planning to go for computer science, BE computer science, BE IT, or any computer courses, these topics will help you. Okay. Because only the basic ideas, basic concepts, terms, definitions, okay, are given in these all chapters. In HTML also you learn basic HTML, how to write a basic HTML programs. Okay, C++, how to write a basic object oriented programs. Okay, what are these object oriented concepts, how you can implement in C++, that you will learn here. Then in future, if you want to learn Java, okay, after learning C++, learning Java is much easier. Okay, because a basic syntax which is used for C++, Java and same is same. Only some of the concepts, some objects are different in Java. Okay, but if you know if you understand the basic object-oriented concepts with the help of C++, then you can learn any object-oriented programming language. Okay, and nowadays, you know that most of the applications are based on object-oriented concept because it is very easy to modify the applications of object-oriented principle, which is based on object-oriented principles. Okay, now data structures and then operating system. In operating system, 22 marks there with option. Data structure, it is for 17 marks. C++ is 41 marks and HTML is for 14 marks. Okay, if you see, the major weightage is for C++ because you have a program. The major programming part is there from C++. Okay, because in theory also have C++ programs in question number 5. Okay, 2 C++ programs and 1 HTML program in question number 5. And because of that, you have major weightage for C++. But if you see the theory point of view, operating system carries the major weightage. Okay, now we'll see the question wise marks distribution of all the chapters. So we'll have a clear idea how these marks are distributed and how many numbers of questions are asked from a particular chapter. Now, if you see, question number 1 is for, okay, first we'll see the paper pattern, then we'll move to the question wise marks distribution. First, see the paper pattern. In computer science paper 1 as well as in computer science paper 2, this is the paper pattern. Only thing is this question number 5 change here. In paper 1 we'll have C++ and HTML, and in paper 2 we'll have assembly language programs only. Okay, now we'll see with respect to paper 1. In question number 1 you have MCQs, like to select the correct answer and see, read the statement, select the correct answer and rewrite the sentence. Okay, most of the time we have observed that students only write the answer and you can lose your half marks there. Even if your answer is correct, you lose half marks when you score more than 40 or 45. Okay, so just remember, you have to write your answer with a complete statement. You have to rewrite the entire statement with the correct answer. So 4 questions are there for 4 marks. In question number 1B, 3 questions are asked. Out of 3, you can answer any 2. So question number 1B is for 6 marks with option 9 marks. In question number 2, 3 and 4, okay, in question number 2, 3 and 4, if you see, there is A, B. So A is answer any 2 out of 3. So that means you'll have 3 marks questions. 3 questions are there, out of which you can answer any 2. And question number B is answer any 1 out of 2. So 2 4 marks questions are asked. You can answer any 1. Okay, so this 6-4, 6-4, 6-4 pattern is there. Okay, and question number 3A also, answer any 2 out of 3. 3 marks questions are asked. In B, 2 4 marks questions are there. You can answer any 1 out of that. Okay, then in question number 5, it's answer any 2 of the following. So here you'll have a programs. Okay, and there are 3 programs. Okay, out of 3 you can answer any 2 programs. Each program is for 5 marks. Okay, now here in question number 5A, you'll see that there is a complete OR for question number 5A. That means either you can answer any 2 from the first question number 5A or any 2 from the second question number 5A. Okay, ऐसे नहीं होगा कि क्वेश्चन नंबर 5A का एक आंसर दिया और क्वेश्चन नंबर 5A का दूसरा आंसर दिया and then you'll get full 10 marks. No, you have to attempt two from the first question number 5A or any two from the second question number 5A. Okay. Now in question number 5A, you'll have two C+ programs, one HTML program is there. Okay. So to you can answer one HTML, one C++, or you can answer both C++ programs. Now in case of C++ programs, they can ask you the program and they'll ask you the values after executing that program. That means you should output of that particular program. So generally the output values will contain five different variable ka values, and then you have to write the correct values of that variable after execution. Or else they'll give you the aim statement, they'll give you the program statement, and to fulfill that particular aim, you have to write the program. Remember, in case of C++ or HTML, you have to write the complete program. In C++, hash include iostream.h, hash include onio.h, from that till void main. So you have to write a complete syntactically program in the exam to get full 5 marks. Okay, your program should be syntactically correct. Wherever the syntax goes wrong, even if your logic is correct, program is, but if there is a small syntactical mistake, you will lose marks for such syntactical mistake. Depending on the mistake, you lose the marks. Okay. In case of HTML also, you specify the properties and their values or attributes and their values properly. Okay, you have to write for some values, you need to write the values of some of the attributes in the double quotes. Some values you can write it without double quotes. So you have to remember the syntax. Okay, so even in case of HTML, you have to start from HTML. Don't just write the body part. You have to start your program from HTML till /HTML. Okay, specify the head part, specify the title part. Okay, so that you'll get full marks in the programming section. Now we'll see the weightage. Okay. Now see 1 marks question, 3 marks question, 4 marks question, and 5 marks question. Only these type of questions will be there in your computer science paper 1. Okay, so 1 mark question, that means objective, question number 1A. Then we'll have in question number 1B, and in question number 2, 3, and 4, A section, we'll have 3 marks question. Then in question number 2, 3, and 4, B, we have 4 marks question. And then question number 5, okay, in question number 5, the program writing part is there. It carries 5 marks for one program. So now we'll see the weightage. For operating system, data structure, since 4 objective is there, 4 marks objective questions are there. So from every chapter, one objective question is there. Okay. Then in case of 3 marks question, operating system, 3 questions are there. So 3 into 3, 9 marks, total 9 marks. Okay. Then there'll be 3 4 marks question. So 3 into 4, 12. So if you see the theory part, okay, theory based questions are asked from operating system chapter. The weightage of C++ is more only because of the programming section. Okay, otherwise theory wise, or if you consider the theory part, the major weightage is for operating system. Then for data structure, 1 objective question, 3 marks, 4 questions. So 4 into 3, 12, and 1 4 mark question. Okay, so it is for 4 marks. Then for C++, 1 objective, 4 3 marks question. So if you consider 3 marks question, this is with option. Okay, this is including option. So 4 questions, 4 into 3, 12, then 2 4-mark question, so total 8 marks. And then in question number 5A, 2 C++ programs are asked, and in the OR part, OR ke baad one more question number 5A is there. So in that second question number 5A also will have 2 C++ programs. So that's why in the paper you have 4 C++ programs. So that's why the weightage is 4 into 5, 4 5 is 20. Okay, so this is the major weightage for C++. So just be clear with all C++ programs, the programs which are performing in the practical as well as in the theory part also. Okay, in C++ initially you have introduction to C++. Okay, that means it is just a revision of your 11th ka C++, whatever concept terms you have learned in 11th. Okay, so initially you have the revision of all that topics and programs in the first section. Okay, so prepare all the programs which you have done in 11th also. Okay, because that kind of a programs, the programs which you have performed 11th, that kind of programs can be asked in theory. Okay, now in HTML, one objective question is there, one 3 marks question is there. Okay, and 2 HTML programs are there. So in question number 5, there'll be 2 HTML programs. So 2 5s are 10. So this way it has 14. The weightage for HTML is 14. Now in the programming section for HTML also, they can give you the code, HTML code, and then you need to draw the output. Rarely this type of question is asked, but once this type of question is asked, like they have given the code, and from the code you have to draw the output of the HTML program. So just be prepared with that also. If the code is given, then what will be the output? How that page on the browser. So that also you should know. Now this is regarding theory exam. Now for theory exam, we have seen the paper pattern. Now what is the marking scheme for practical? So for practical, 3 years duration is there for practical. Then doing the practical, it carries 30 marks. How these 30 marks are distributed? See, in the board exam, you'll have a board practical slip. So in the board practical slip, first read the entire slip properly. Okay, because sometimes the practical which you have performed in the lab or practical which you have listed in the journal, it is sometimes a little bit different from the board practical. Okay, so you have to perform the practical according to the board practical slip. Whatever things mentioned in the practical slip, you have to fulfill the aim which is given in the practical slip. Okay, otherwise you'll lose the marks. So first you have to write the C++ code. Once you receive the slip, in the slip one C++ HTML or VB practical is there. Okay, so you have to write the code, then get it checked by the examiner, either internal or external examiner. You have to show your code. Once it is corrected, then only you can enter the program into the machine, into the computer. Okay, then for that handwritten code, if it is correct, syntactically correct, then you get 15 marks. In case of Visual Basic, you need to draw the interface and you have to show it to the examiner. Like what interface you are going to draw for that particular practical, that you have to draw on the paper, you have to write the code. Okay, and that carries 15 marks. Then after that, execution of the program. Okay, typing the code and running the program properly without any error, that gets 5 marks. Okay, and after that, correct typing and syntax. Then the examiner will check your program whether it is syntactically correct or not, whether you have formatted it in a proper manner or not, and then you will get 5 marks for that. And then finally, you have to take the hard copy of your code. That means you have to take print out of your code and output. You have to attach it to your answer paper, and that carries 5 marks. So this is the general marks distribution for your software paper. Okay, generally some colleges while preparing the timetable they keep paper 1 and paper 2 on the same day. Okay, like morning, in the morning batch you'll have paper 1 and in the evening batch you'll have paper 2. Okay, otherwise some colleges they take paper 1 practical and paper 2 practical on the different days. So it is totally up to the college and the college timetable how they are arranging the practical. But if both the papers are on the same day, then just prepare with code of C++, HTML, VB, and hardware programs in advance. Okay, don't rely that at the last moment or on the day of the exam I'll prepare, I'll read, I'll understand the logic, and I'll complete the program. That is not at all possible. You have to practice all the programs in advance. Now only just you'll get the board practice slip from the from your college teachers. Okay, or else whatever practicals are given in your journal, just try to type all programs on your own. Just read the aim without looking at the journal, type the code, see the errors. So initially you'll get some errors in case of C++, HTML, you'll get some errors, but try to correct your errors, because that is the first step to become a good programmer. The good programmer will always have a lot of errors. After solving the errors, you'll come to know what mistakes you should avoid. Okay, so remember that, remember your mistakes, and then later on it will help you to do the to design a best program. Because see, no one can write the error-free program. Okay, the good programmers also they forget to write semicolon, commas, single quotes, double quotes. Okay, but realizing your mistake and correcting the mistake, okay, properly on time, okay, that is a good sign of the programmer. So first practice all the programs on your own without looking at your journal or book. Try to type the program. Okay, try to make your program error free, because at the time of, even if you're practicing, at the time of exam there will be small mistakes, small errors. Okay, as you know, in case of C++, error handling, it will display the error, but sometimes your error or correction is on the first line, but it will show that error for the 7th or 8th line. Okay, so you should understand the error statement which are given in the C++. Okay, when it is showing at 7, so it doesn't mean that actual error is on the 7th statement or 7th instruction. It might be some instructions before the 7th line. Okay, so that you can only understand that only after practicing all the programs. In case of HTML, it is very easy, because wherever the error is there, wherever the problem is there, it won't show that particular part on the browser. Okay, so for C++, it is for HTML it is very easy to handle the errors, but for C++, the most of the time students say, "Ki ma'am, the error is showing on 5th line. I have tried everything, but still it is showing the errors." Why this happens? Because the error is not on the 5th line. It is in some instructions before that particular 5th line. Sometimes you forget to write the prototype of the function. Sometimes the variable is not declared. So this kind of errors are there, and the error statement is same. If you observe, or if you type the 5-6 programs with errors, you'll come to know what error it prompts for which mistakes. Okay, so you should learn that first. To become a good programmer, you should learn to handle the error first. Okay, then the complete and certified journal will carry 20 marks. Okay, so in all 50 marks are there for the journal. Sorry, marks is there for practical. Now we'll discuss the theory syllabus, which is omitted this due to the COVID-19 situation. Now see, if you see the remarks over here, this is the same chart I have typed here. The whatever chart we have received from the board, same chart I have typed here. Why? Because see, if you see the remark, what they've mentioned is, if you see for first chapter, operating system, overview of OS, Windows 98, Windows NT, and Linux. So in this particular topic, if you have studied, if you have read this particular topic, they have only given the different features and characteristic of different operating system, like what are the different features provided by Windows 98 NT and Linux. Generally nowadays no one uses this 98 and NT, but these features are given. So actually in board exam on this particular topic, most of the questions are not asked on these particular topics. Okay, features of 98 NT Linux is not asked in there. Sometimes they have asked this Linux ka. Okay, explain the structure of the Linux or kernel of the Linux. Okay, but rarely it is. And here it is mentioned self-study possible. So they haven't mentioned it is non-evaluative or something. It is mentioned here self-study possible. So they're expecting you to study on your own. Okay, and if your college is conducting the practical based on this chapter, then they are saying it is covered in practical. That means in this particular practical session, your teacher will explain the different operating systems. Okay, they'll actually show you what are the features, what is the GUI for these all different operating systems. Okay, now in case of GUI also, this is also covered in practical. When we are learning these different operating systems, the GUI is very important, because now any system, we say mobile or computer or desktop or laptop, anywhere the GUI is very important. That is graphical user interface. Okay, if it is user friendly, then majority people tend to use that particular software or application. So it is very important and main part. But this is also, it is mentioned self-study possible. So my suggestion is just read and study all these topics. Even if it is mentioned, it is omitted. Okay, completely omit mat karo, read and understand it, because most of the questions will not based on this particular topic. There will be some options for these particular topics. If some questions are asked on this particular topic, there will be some other options also available, because it is not mentioned here non-evaluative. Okay, if it is mentioned non-evaluative, that means they won't ask the question on that particular topic. Okay, so GUI also, the different like menus, menu bars, then icons, so that details are given, the different windows which we use in case of graphical user interface. So a small description is given about the different icons, menus, menu bars used for GUI, so you can study on your own. Then data structures. In data structures, introduction to data structures. In case of introduction to data structure, you have some terms and definitions like entity, field. You have the definitions like group items, elementary items, entity, field, record. Okay, so only these definitions are not there. Okay, ऐसे भी rarely कभी पूछा है, that is define entity and record, or in MCQs they have asked the questions based on this particular topic, but it is not that important, so you can omit that. Okay, so it is mentioned here non-evaluative. I think the question on this particular topic is not expected in the board exam. They won't ask you that definitions and in the exam, board exam. Okay, now next in the review of C++. Okay, for in review of C++, in this particular section, whatever C++ basic you have learned in 11th, okay, that is just a revision of all that topics in this particular section, review of C++. So last year you have studied the basic structure of the C++ program, then the if loop, while loop, for loop, switch cases. So it is just a revision of last year's topic. So that's why they've mentioned it is covered in practical, because even this year in 12th, you have some of the practicals which is based on the basic C++. It is not object oriented C++ programming. It is only the basic C++ program there in this particular section. So board is expected to cover these topics in practical, and again it is here self-study possible. Sometimes in board exam, it is like explain the if block or explain the structure of for loop and while loop. So rarely it is there. So you have to prepare that, because if you learn C++, you should not forget the basic constructs which are used in C++. You know? So again, this topic is also, it is mentioned, it is omitted, but we cannot omit. We have to study this topic. Okay. Then principle of object oriented programming. So only some of the principles which are mentioned, like inheritance, then some of the object oriented principles are given in this particular section. That is the definition of classes, inheritance, polymorphism, data encapsulation, data abstraction. So these concepts, these terms and definition will not be asked in the board exam. So that's why it is mentioned here. It is non-evaluative. Then again in HTML, introduction to HTML. So in this part only, they have given the advantages of HTML, disadvantages of HTML. Okay, so only that part is omitted here, which is mentioned as non-evaluative. Again, here it is mentioned self-learning. So my suggestion is learn all the topics, because these are all basics. Okay, if you see introduction to HTML, review of C++, introduction to data structures, these are the basics. Without learning the basics, you cannot go forward. So because of that, you have to learn this, but whether to prepare it for the board exam or not, that is just only this, refer this chart and just confirm with your college teachers also before the exam. Just confirm with your college teachers about these topics, whether you have to prepare with this topic or not. Okay, because it is mentioned here self study possible, that means they're expected you to study this particular part. Okay. Now, one more thing I want to tell you is, in Falashruti paper, okay, when you get the Falashruti paper for computer science paper 1, I won't ask any question about these topics. You will not have any questions based on these topics in Falashruti paper. Okay. Now, reduction of practical syllabus for academic year 2021. Now, for C++ program, uh, using array and pointers. So they have mentioned it is covered 11th and repeat practicals. So actually, what practicals are conducted in your college, okay, just concentrate on that practicals. Your teacher will not include these practicals, okay, in your, mostly they will try to avoid including these practical journal. So generally in board practical exam also, what practicals you have performed in the entire year, you have to prepare that practicals for the final board exam. Okay, so actually I don't have the detailed aim of this WebE program, because since I have not gone to the college, I don't have a board practical slip right now. So later on in the synopsis, I'll mention the detailed aim of these practicals. Like in the practical slip, if you see, these are the serial numbers, that is 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. These are the serial numbers in the board practical slip. Okay, so if you have the board practical slip, then just practical number 11, 12, 13 of week, you can avoid that practical. Don't practice that. And mostly your teacher will not include these practicals in the journal also. Then in HTML, 15th practical in the board practical slip, designing a simple web page with a text. Generally in our college, we take 2 HTML practicals, 8 VB programs, 14 to 15 C++ programs. So mostly the C++ program practicals or C++ practicals are more in the journal. Okay, so that's why in HTML only 2 practicals are there. Even in most of the college, they hardly conduct 3 to 2 HTML practicals. So the first practical which is there, that is designing a simple web page with a with the text. So that can be covered in other practicals, because if you see the other HTML practicals, it is a little bit advanced. Okay, you don't have just a printing a simple messages on the web page. It is see the other HTML practicals. There you have to discuss a paragraph with different font formatting techniques. Then you have to include the image, you have to include the hyperlink, you have to include the table. So this practical be omitted, or this practical can be ignored for the board practical. Now we'll discuss about the topics which are there in the software. Now in operating system, you'll have what is an operating system, the basic definition of operating system. Because when we say operating system, why it is called as operating system? Because it operates the system. Okay, the entire machine, your entire computer is based on this. Whenever you purchase any laptop or computer, first you have to install the operating system. So without the operating system, we cannot start the machine. Okay, we cannot access any other application or any other part of the computer hardware. आपका hard disk है, floppy disk है, so you cannot access any part without the operating system, which is very important. And what is that operating system, what is the functions of this operating system, that is given. Then different services in operating system, so information management, memory management, process management, these are the different services of operating system that is given. This is very important, services in operating system. Okay, because see, first understand what is that service, what is the need of that particular service. Okay, so understand that first, then you will find it that details inside that particular service is much easy. Okay, because see, again, this overview of Windows 98, Windows NT and Linux, that is omitted, so I have cancelled that. Then concept of information management. In information management, how it manages the information, how it manages the files, folders, okay, or drives. Like when we save a file, we store a file in particular folder. That folder, it belongs to particular drive. Okay, and there'll be 2-3 drives in our machine, 3-4-5, depends on the partition. So how it manages the files, how it stores the data. Generally, operating system, it maintains lots of tables. Okay, to maintain the information of different files, folders, programs, it maintains with the help of tables. Okay, so how these tables are maintained, then different terms which are related to this information management, that is given in a particular topic. The next is the concept of process management. See, initially they have just given a brief, in short, they have given the idea about these services, and then in detail they are trying to explain all these services in the next section. So process management, in the process management, the process is very important part for the operating system. Running program, okay, the program which is running in the processor is called as a process. Okay, program which is running in the processor is called as a process. Different definitions, lots of definitions are there for the process. Okay, so that's why the concept which is related to the process management, like definition of process, multi-programming. When we say a multi-programming, that means multiple programs are running at a time. So with one processor, is it possible to run multiple programs at a time? So actually it is not possible. Okay, but it gives a feel that it is doing multi-programming. Why? How it is possible? So with the help of different process scheduling techniques, with the different process scheduling techniques, it is able to perform multi-programming. Okay, this multi-programming and multitasking is two different concepts. Okay, you'll feel that dono same hi hai, but no, it is totally different, multi-programming and multitasking. So understand the difference between the multi-programming and multitasking. Then the context, there are different techniques which are used to handle the different processes, okay, in the processor. So the context switching, process states, priority, these are the some of the terms and concepts used to perform the job scheduling or process scheduling. Okay, so these terms, how it is used, okay, what is the meaning? Process states mean what, like process when it runs, it goes into the different state, wait state, okay, running state. Okay, so what are the different states? Uska meaning kya hai? Okay, then priority, you can schedule the process based on the priority. Okay, then context switching, that is also one of the process scheduling techniques. So this is very interesting part in operating system. When you'll go for any graduation courses based on computer science, you'll see this operating system, that is a one subject. Okay, it is a one subject. Even in computer science, BSc computer science, BSc IT, even in BE also, you have operating system as a one subject. It is a very vast topic, but they are trying to cover the basic terms and definitions in this particular chapter. Then in memory management, how the memory, like when we store a file, so it is actually store, the files are stored in some of the tracks and sectors, okay, of the disk. So which file is stored on which sector, which track, so that information operating system has to maintain. So how these information is maintained with a different memory map for single user computer. Then partition system is used. So in partition, there are two types, fixed partition and variable partition. Then paging technique is there. That means page wise you can store the data. Then segmentation, segment wise we can store the files or data. And then the virtual memory. Okay. So with the virtual memory also, with the virtual memory concepts also, we can store the data. Okay. Then this basics of GUI and GUI features, this is omitted. So in basics of GUI, you'll have what controls, what things you have to include to give a nice GUI for any software or application. And then the features, what are the features of this graphical user interface, how it helps to design or to give a better program softwares to the users. So that is the GUI features, because it is very important nowadays. Only as you know, like if you have used Linux, so it is without GUI, it doesn't have a graphical user interface, and that's why less popular. It is very useful, but it is less popular only because it doesn't have a GUI. Okay. So then security threats, as you know, that is a major concern when we are accessing the computer or laptop or mobile. Okay. With the internet, then you have a high risk. Like even if you are using any outside keys or disk, okay, in your computer, then you have a security threats. There might be attacks on your security. That means your password can be steal. Then your data can be, some of your files can be deleted automatically without knowing you. The files can be deleted, can be modified. So these are the different threats are there for the computer. Okay. Even if you are not using internet, but if you are accessing some CDs, unknown CDs, okay, so that time also such CDs, disk, floppy disk, and nowadays no one using floppy disk, but the CDs, floppies can have the viruses, okay, or worms, which can attack the computer systems. So what are the different types of attacks? So that is given in this particular chapter. In short, they're trying to explain you what are the different type of attack. Then computer worms and viruses. These are the two different very important concepts. Generally, you will feel that worms and viruses are the same. Hai. No, it is totally different. Viruses, it will infect the file. Worms, it will not infect the file, but it will replicate itself. Okay, without knowing the user, it will replicate itself. It will make many copies of the worm file. Okay, and it will occupy most of your memory space. Okay, so there is a basic terms and definitions of worms and viruses are given in this particular chapter. Okay, then data structures. And data structures, you have different data structures operations. Okay. So in the data structure operations, like when we say a data structure means what? Uh, some structure in which we can store a data. Okay, now why we need a structure? Because if you have a structure while storing the data, if you have a proper structure, then the addition of new data element, removal of new data element, or searching of any data element in that particular structure is much easier. Okay, अगर आप ऐसे ही कहीं पे भी डेटा स्टोर किया, डंप किया, तो later on when you want to search a particular record or when you want to delete a particular record, then at that time it will be difficult. While storing it is easy, you can dump it anywhere. Okay, without having a proper structure, you can dump anywhere. But if you have a data structure, if you follow a data structure for storing the data or information, then traversing, inserting, deleting, searching, sorting, and merging, these operations will be much easier. Okay, because you can implement some of the algorithms, some of the techniques to perform these operations. Okay, traversing, inserting, deleting, searching, sorting, and merging, these are the some of the operations generally are based on the different data structures. Then the algorithm is given, like if you want to design any data structure, then what are the different algorithms? Some algorithms like for finding the smallest element in the array. Generally, if you see the algorithm part, you'll have array, the algorithms which are related to the array, like how you insert the data in the array, how you delete the data from the array, because the array concept you have learned last year in C++. So that's why you'll observe that the algorithms which are given, that is for array data structure. Array is also one of the data structure which stores similar type of data. Okay, so other data structures are there like tree, list, but the array is the very simplest and easiest data structure which I have learned last year. So that's why they have given the algorithm and their notations. Like if you want to write a algorithm, because before typing the program or before writing the program, your first should be the algorithm. First, you list all the steps, okay, to fulfill or to complete the aim of the program. Okay, so that's why the algorithm is very important. So different algorithm notes are given here. Last year you have studied flowchart. Okay, here the algorithms are given in this particular section. So read and understand the notations because later on in next topics they have given the algorithms for different operations like binary search may be algorithm दिया है. So in the theory exam, they can ask you any algorithms which is given in the textbook. In your syllabus, whatever algorithms are given, at least one algorithm can be asked in the board exam. Okay, so then the control structures, like this is a little bit easy for you to understand, because if you know C++, you know the control structure. In case of control structure, we have single alternative, double alternative. Like last year in the algorithm, we have seen that you have to go from one step to another step. So when you continuous 4-5 step, so the flow chart, in the flow chart, to indicate the flow, we use different notations. Okay, so these notations you'll again study in this control structure. Like for single alternative means like you have to verify condition and then again you have to repeat that particular same set of instructions. So that is single alternative. In case of double alternative, the condition is checked. If the condition is satisfied, then what to do, and then if the condition is not satisfied, then what to do. So that is a double alternative. That is if else. If you know if else, so the double alternative selection or control structure is given here. Then loop ka, for loop ka control structure, that is given in the multiple alternative. Sorry, in multiple alternative, the switch case is there for switch case is the example for multiple alternative. Then for repeat for loop, you have while loop and for loop control structure. Then the single alternative and double alternative is the control structure. For this particular control structure, the example is if loop, if statement and if else statement. Okay, so you'll have the different notations with flowchart. Okay, for the different control structures. Then the array representation in the memory. In the array, as as I told, that array is the very simplest data structure in this particular data structure section. So with respect to array, how array is represented in the memory. When we are saying I have declared the array of 10 elements, so how it is stored in the memory, how you can traverse array, how you can delete any of the element from the array. If you want to sort the elements of an array, how to sort the elements. So these different algorithms and concepts are given. Then the binary search. So that is also a very important searching technique, okay, which you can implement for searching any of the particular element from the data structure or the array data structure specifically. So that binary search, what is the logic for the binary search? That is given with the help of algorithm. Then pointer arrays, how the pointer arrays are stored in the memory, how it is maintained in the operating system, and then the records in memory using array. Okay, so records, how the records is stored in the memory, okay, using array. Then one more data structure is there, that is a linked list. We have seen array. Array is one of the data structure, and then another data structure is linked list. So how the linked list is represented in the memory. मेमोरी में कैसे स्टोर होता है. Okay, so linked list means what? One element is linked with other. Okay, so every element, it has a two field, data, address. So in the data, it contains a data, and it contains the address of next element or memorization of the next element. So when you learn concept, you'll find it easy, but representation of linked list in memory, it is little bit complicated. Okay, understand that it is very interesting and important. Linked list is very important with respect to the theory exam. It is very important, so just don't omit this, read this particular topic. Another data structure is trees, then binary trees, representing binary tree in memory. See, for this binary tree, just a minute. See, in exam, in question number 3A or question number 4A, you will have the question like, draw the binary tree for the given expression. Okay, that means one particular expression is given, and you have to draw the binary tree for that. So in case of the different the terms and definitions are given, like what is node, child node, okay, root node, so then depth. So these definitions are given in trees. In binary trees, you can represent any expression. Okay, you can convert any expression into the binary tree. Okay, so that is a compulsory question which is in the board exam, either in question number 3A or question number 4A. Okay, so prepare that binary or representation of expression into the binary tree, or else they can give you the binary tree, and from that binary tree you have to write the proper expression. Okay, remember, in the expressions the brackets are very important, the operations are very important. Okay, then in the next topic we have a C++. In C++ you have a classes and objects ka definition, arrays, pointers, references, and strings. The arrays and pointers you have studied last year. Then references and strings, that is a new topic which is included. Then the classes, definition of classes and objects. Okay, see, these two definitions are also there in object-oriented programming concept or principles, and separately also it is given. Just prepare the definition of classes and objects. It is very important. Most of the time this question is asked. Define the following term: classes, objects. Okay, then constructor and destructor. With the when you are, if it is asked in the exam, explain the concept of constructor in C++. You have to explain this with the help of example. Okay, C++ ka wherever possible, try to write a small program as an example. Okay, that will help you to make your concept. Just a minute. Sorry, in case of constructor, destructor, or operator overloading type conversion, you can write a small example which will explain your point, or which will explain that particular topic in short. Okay, because without examples you cannot write the answer of this constructor, destructor, operator overloading, and type conversion. Even in case of inheritance, without code, you can write a small example of inheritance. You can take minimum 2 classes or 3 classes, okay, to show the inheritance. Don't write the inner code, but just specify the inheritance. Which class is inherited by which class? Okay, so with the help of small examples, also you can explain these topics in the exam. Okay, to get full marks, just try to give the example for these topics. Then virtual functions, polymorphism. Uh, in case of polymorphism, uh, the one function, it has many forms. Like the function name is same, but by changing the number of parameters, by changing the return type, we can create new function, okay, which has the same name. So that polymorphism is very important. They can ask you definition of polymorphism. So in that also, just try to give the example. Then working with files. See, only last year they have asked the question on this particular topic, that is working with files. Otherwise, in the earlier exams, this not asking any question regarding files. Okay, but last year only one question is there, which is based on working with, well, where you'll have a different functions, okay, which is related to files, like file open, close, write. So the programs are not important. Don't prepare the programs, but they'll ask you to explain the functions, which is inbuilt functions, which is given for the files. Then the last topic is HTML. In case of HTML, this is omitted, but you have to read to understand the HTML. First, you have to read this introduction, because this is a totally new topic in 12th. Last year, you don't have any basics of this HTML, so you have to learn this. You have to study this at least. And then advantages and disadvantages of HTML, that is there. Okay? So prepare advantages and disadvantages. It is asked in the board exam. Then the basic HTML tags, that is HTML, head, title, body. These are the basic HTML tags. So in exam, most of the time they have asked either HTML or head. Okay. So when you are explaining these specify the attributes also, like with HTML tag, what are attributes available for HTML? का कौन सा attribute है? Which tags we can write in the part? So specify that. Try to mention 4 points for 2 marks. If it is asked for 2 marks, 2 marks, because in the question number 5, in question number B, 2B, 3B, or in question number B, you have 4 marks question. So there they can ask you this type of question, like explain HTML and head, or explain title and head tag, okay, or explain body and HTML tag, okay. So minimum 4 points and a small example if possible, you can write it to answer this type of question. Then basic font formatting tags. In basic font formatting tags, we have a paragraph tag, heading tags, then font tag is there. So small tag, big tag. So many tags are there in the font formatting tag. So any 2-3 tags in the exam they can ask. Then image tag. For the image tag, if it is asked in the exam, you have to specify the attribute properly. Even in the practical, just remember when you are specifying the SRC attribute, okay, specify it properly. Check the complete path of the source file and specify that source file, specify the address of that particular file in the SRC attribute within double quotes. Okay, if your address is wrong, then it won't be able to display any image on the web page. Okay, then list tags, you have a ordered list and unordered list. So list tag, their attributes, then li tag. Okay, that is also given. Then table tags. For table tag, we have a table tag, caption tag, tr tag, td tag. Then one more topic which is very important for with respect to the table tag is that is call span and row span. Then cell padding and cell spacing. Okay, many a time these topics are asked in the board: cell spacing, cell padding, call span, row span. Okay, so just be prepared with these terms. It is easy, and when you are explaining, try to explain with a small example. You can write a 2-3 line ka code. You don't need to write a complete HTML program. when you're explaining a concept or term. Give a very small 3-4 line ka example which will explain your point or which will include all the attributes for that particular tag. Okay? Then use of scripting as a language support. Now, rarely this script tag is asked in the exam. Okay, VB script programs अभी तक कभी भी पूछा नहीं है. They are not asking VB script syntax of VB script. But yes, script tag is asked in the board exam. So just prepare the script. And if possible, VB script ka syntax also, it is similar to your VB ka syntax. Okay. And the limitations, like advantages of scripting program and the limitations. So limitations is important and script tag is important in this section of the HTML. Now, I hope I have covered all the topics which are there in computer science paper 1 and marking scheme. Hope it is clear to all of you, and now thank you everyone for patiently listening. And if you have any queries or doubt, you can put it in the chat box or you can unmute and speak.
Hello, Gitanjali. Gitanjali,
Yes, ma'am.
you want 10 minutes break? Or ask the students whether they want 10 minutes break.
Okay, students, you want 10 minutes break?
Ma'am, I had a doubt, a small doubt.
Okay.
Ma'am, for practicing C++, which software should we download in our laptops or computers?
See, which operating system you have on the laptop?
Hello, ma'am, can't hear you.
Which operating system you have?
Turbo C.
Sorry, Windows
Windows 7.
7. Okay. What is a .NET version? You know .NET version in your operating system? Because see, the problem which I've observed regarding this Turbo C, on the Google you can check the link for Turbo C. Okay, just type Turbo C++. So the first link which is given, you can download that. But when you try to install that particular software, it will give you the .NET ka error. Have you observed that? You face the same issue?
Yes, ma'am, I couldn't open it.
So it will ask you to update or upgrade your .NET. So for that also on the Google, just see the current version of the .NET. Okay, maybe 4.4 is expected. The current version is 4.3, 4.4. So if in your machine the .NET version is 2.1 or 2.3, then it is expecting 4.3 or any version more than 4.3. So just upgrade your .NET and then it will. Or else one more thing is there, you can just search for the simulators. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening, ma'am.
Yeah. So just search for the C++ simulator. Okay. That is also there. It works very fine, but sometimes you'll have some problem ki hang hota hai beech mein software. Okay. Or else one more thing is there on the mobile, Android mobile also you can perform C++ application. The application name is Turbo C Droid. Okay. If you see that interface of that Turbo C Droid, yeah, it is Turbo C Droid. So from the Play Store you can download that. The interface of this Turbo C Droid is similar to your Turbo C++. but only while you'll have to practice on that. The typing is little difficult because on the mobile, with that small keypad we have to type. So 2-3 options are there. Either Turbo C Droid download karo on your mobile, or else just try with Turbo C Simulator, C++ Simulator, which doesn't require .NET, or else upgrade your .NET framework. If it has low version, upgrade it. The update is free. It is freely available on the net. Just check on the Google. Okay, download and update.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay. Students, you want break?
They are saying no. They want you to continue.
Okay. Ma'am, just I need 5 minutes break, just for 5 minutes. I'll
Yeah.
have some water and then I'll start. Is it okay?
Yeah. You take 5 minutes break.
Yeah, any other doubt queries there, you can unmute, or you can type it in chat box.
Geetanjali madam, what I feel is practicals you can take it towards the end. You finish your theory part. Geetanjali is not to be heard.
Okay, anyone is having any doubt?
One question is written there on the chat box.
No, ma'am, I can see earlier. Yeah, earlier I can see that question, but now my entire chat box is cleared.
Okay, should we
Blank.
write an? Okay, I'll read out. Should we write an imaginary source file location in board exam while writing an HTML program?
Yes, you have to write the imaginary location, or else you can mention just a file name, image file name with a proper extension. Like for the image file, you know it is JPG, okay, JPEG or GIF. So specify the file the file type or file extension properly. Okay, other address or a proper address, if you don't mention, if you just mention the image file name with the proper extension, then also it is correct. Regarding practicals, see, in our college we have started with practicals. It is online practicals only. We are conducting online practicals. We are just explaining the students all the programs. We are discussing the aim, and then we are asking student to perform the practical on their own. Okay, because sharing everybody's screen, it is not possible. So that's why we have started with the practicals, so that at least student will have some practice, because C++ teaching only the theory part is not that much interesting. Once you start coding, when you start practicing the programs, then only you'll find C++ interesting. So that's why we have started with practicals. You're in which college, Advait? Okay. See, for the practical, book is not there, any specifics is not there, but You can refer if you know the last year student college. Okay, so you can take the journal from your seniors. Just contact your senior. You'll definitely get the journal from them. Or else, if taking the journal is not possible, just take the picture of the practical and the output. So whatever programs are there, the program and the output screenshots or pictures you can collect from your seniors, and then you can practice it on your own. For 8085 also the emulator is there. Actually 8085 practical, you have to perform it on the kit, microprocessor kit. Generally the Dynalog Dyna 85 kit is used for performing 8085 practical. But now since the physical practical, actual practical is not possible, you can try with the emulators. Emulators is much easy. You just have to load the opcodes. Okay, not opcodes also, only the mnemonics. I guess in some of the emulators only you have to specify the mnemonics, then automatically the opcodes are specified. Okay, it automatically collects all the required opcodes and flag register, before after execution everything is displayed below that programming का interface. जहाँ पे program display होता है, below that only the register, flag register, then before after execution values are visible. So emulators are much easy, and on the YouTube you will find the different videos based on different emulators. Okay, I'll share the link if you want. I'll share the that Turbo C Droid and emulator ka link with Rane ma'am. Okay, she'll forward it to you. Is it okay, Rane ma'am?
What?
I'll share the link for Turbo C Droid software and this emulator 8085 emulator. Okay, just forward the same link to the students.
Okay. No,
Okay.
no problem.
Okay. Sarthak, which emulator you are saying? The C++ simulator or 8085 emulator? $8085. Okay. Turbo C. Okay. Vedant, I'll forward the link and then just check later on, because now I cannot see the link. So better I'll share it with Rani ma'am. She will forward it to you. Again, on the net also, if you check, it is easily you will find it, that Turbo C Droid ka. Okay. Now see, with emulator I have to check which emulator is there. Which emulator is there, Sarthak? Remember the name of the emulator, I haven't used it or not. Okay. See, I'll share the link, then you check with that also. If you have some problem, you can just contact the Rane or the coordinators of Falashruti. They'll tell me, and then we'll definitely try to find some solution. Okay, because like which type of emulator is there, which version is there, that we have to check. अगर वो error दे रहा है तो what error is that? That also we should know. So share the link of emulator and Turbo C Droid, and then also if you have some problem. But Vedant, it only works on Linux, Dynalog ka emulator, because I have Linux, but mostly people don't prefer to use Linux, or else you have to two operating system, Linux and Windows, दोनों आपको load करना पड़ेगा. For some applications you can use it with Linux. Okay, Vedant. Okay. See, whatever software application is there, do is download first. Just try to find out the different YouTube videos which is available find the requirement of the software, जो भी आप application download कर रहे हो, see the ratings first, see the requirement of that application. First, just on the YouTube, search that particular application, how to use, what are the problems while using that particular application, and then only download. Okay. The Turbo C Droid and emulator we have already tested, and because of that, I'll share that link. Okay. Now I guess all the doubts are clear. You don't have any doubt regarding the theory topics of software, regarding theory or other topics. No one is having any other doubt. Should I start with the hardware? Okay.
Sa ga ma